What's that again?
Mickey and I were watching a video today, weren't we, Mickey?
Yes.
And what was it about?
I think it's autonomy.
Yes, what it is it's a
Autonomy.
bit like we haven't realised that when they made watches and they made those little things like on clocks which turned round, you had the small, or sometimes those clocks were on buildings, and so you had mechanical animals and people going round and round or whatever, that actually they were the first computers, because they were able to make things, copy it and do it again and again. It was like it's the first. Computer. And what it was is, in the middle of, this one was towards the end of it. It showed us the silver swan. It's all silver. And in 1773, that swan was mechanically moving. So I think that's quite amazing. But it's not futuristic. But if you think that these are the rich people's toys,
very.
then you've got to imagine what else did they have if these were the toys.
Yeah. Determination toys, yeah.
And the bit that shocked us, I suppose, the most, because you just don't think about these things, is when they made all these things, they, through becoming, what was the word again?
It says it there.
Automation. They made it mini version. So they had big versions of everything, and then they made it mini. But when we're talking mini, little tiny plates, loads of them, made up a boy writing, or what was it? The Indian man? No, what was he called? The Turkish man.
Yeah, the Turkish
robot, which you can look up. Well, it's kind of like a. Then
Turkish chess.
Yeah, it made them move their arms to certain things by little discs they put in there. But we're talking of the 1700s.
Yeah, easy. Yeah, so it just amazes me how intricate.
So 1 second, because what it is I'm going to bring this in now. Hang on. This was on Facebook. This is a friend of mine. He's taken a picture. Nice picture looking at the locks. And I look at it and I think, this was built 200, maybe 300 years ago. So how did they do that back then? And now we're watching automation. And the things, those clock things are so intricate. And the thing is that the guy's saying in the video we watched about it, that they made these with, at night time, they'd have had candles. And yet, when you realise the mechanism in these things, and the fact that they can take things out and put other letters in to make other words and all this kind of stuff, and they were able to do all that, and some of it was very, very small but so intricate. It's hard to believe that you had just had candles.
Yeah, it's hard to fathom.
Anyway, we're going back now. 1 second. Obviously, we were watching this video, and it's talking about, the power of clocks, and then putting gadgets on them made people watch the clocks, and they got power over the people.
Yeah, when they get the time, gets them to wake up. That's the start of ruling, isn't it?
Also in here, they were noting back then that we were like machines anyway. The body, a human body, is like a machine. Yeah. Anyway,
he was seeing it. Yeah.
So these are these clocks we're talking about here, with the animals going round and round, and the big. And then we're going on to the next bit, because this is quite.
Yeah.
Because obviously this video goes on, and he's looking at. Let's move it on this way. You can see the little video bit there. But we want to get on to this bit here. Is it him?
That's showing the inside, isn't it?
We want this. We've got to show this. So
this is where only the elite and the very rich.
Yeah, let's go back to about there. What's that one? What's it showing me? Nothing. Oh, there you go. Look at that. They made a world.
7 foot tall, isn't it? Taller than a man.
This is all
Inside.
mechanical. Should we just put it on for
Yeah,
let's turn
quite...
this off, because we don't want him, because we unfortunately he explains it much better than we can ever do. Yeah. But we're just trying to show you, so we'll just put it on for a second. Let's just see what quite a few people have watched this video. But this whole thing is made the same way. It's just, look at it. It's absolutely, this is made hundreds of years ago. We would actually want to get to actually seeing, no, here we go. These are the figures on it. All these bits. This is still working today. Look at that. I mean, let's just stop the video. That is just... That's a bit over mind-bearing, isn't it? I mean, like, it blows your mind.
I'd like to know if it was taken off from a real town, you know? Or a copy of an old place. Or...
To the rich, this is how they saw it. But don't forget... So basically saying you can say it's magnificent and beautiful, but some poor person probably made that for the rich.
Yeah. And candlelight.
But we don't know if any of that's true, because that's just like what they're going to say, the party line, the storyline of what they told us, but we're not sure. History. But if they had these as toys, what the hell else did they have?
Yeah.
That is just...
But there's reminds me of like the old films we used to watch. You know, like the mechanical horse. You know, like in Sinbad, I think. Had a mechanical horse that could fly. You know, gave the king a mechanical horse. Remember? So it's still like in that realm, isn't it? You know.
Yeah, they usually lie about the ages to not make it as old as it really is. And they're saying the 1700s, but it might even be older than that. We don't know anymore.
This is the thing, isn't it?
Should we go on to the next bit that Mickey likes the next bit? But you see, there's something else that's a bit... It's Roman. So in the 1700s, they're making it with Roman figures at the front here.
Romano?
Romans, again, the Romans.
Romanos.
So this is a little bug. So when I was talking about the miniatures, so they had, as you saw, that palace with all the people.
Oh God, yeah.
And that was huge. The clocks are huge. All, wasn't it? But then they were able to make minis, okay? And I'm just going to show you. I've just got to get to it. Hang on. So the inside was all that inside that little bug. And as you're watching it, it's hard to comprehend that 200-300 years ago that they were able to do this such intricate stuff with little tiny... Anyway, we're getting onto that bit because we're getting to Mickey's favourite bit.
Thanks to the miniaturized components, Automata could now simulate new kinds of movements and even make complex and naturalistic sounds.
So, obviously, I'd love to just copy the whole video and show it, but it's a BBC one, so... And when the guy talks, he sounds like who? Nigel Farage.
Yeah.
And looks quite like a version of him, so
I'd
rather not show you that because it kind of ruins all this. But anyway, do you see anything on the 1p? Do you see it? Now, in the 1700s, they could make screws that small.
That intricate,
Now this boggles your mind. How could they, with just candles and horses, make screws? Now look, that is a 1p. And when you put that on there, how wide would that be? I mean, look how small it is.
Grit in your eye, really, isn't it? If you drop that at work, you go, wow, that's it, game over. You understand? And let alone you'd
I mean,
have
that is tiny.
Yeah.
Do you see it? Look, that is just... And they could make screws like that. So what
the
else
tool
were
to
they
make the
making,
screw.
and what else was happening if you can manufacture screws that small? And also, we are going to show that bit, Mickey, because I suppose it's important when you talk about the size of that.
Yeah, it's because it's the tool that made it.
Yeah, we're going back
See
to
what
that
I'm
bit.
saying?
Hang on 1 second. So, the guy's explaining some of the tools that they used.
Yeah.
Now,
Make the tool to make the tool.
this is completely blown up, but what they're saying is there's a hole just there, and the thread goes through that hole. So what did you say? What's the machinery that made that?
Exactly. You know, you
I
have to
mean,
have
look
the
at
tool
the
to
the size of the hole is so small.
Side of your head.
There, my cursor's over the top of it,
Quite amazing.
and the thread goes into there.
And it will cut it as you...
And they were making this, and they said, "Come on, everybody, this doesn't add up." But it's not really futuristic either. But this stuff that they're making here, that he's showing you in this video, all works today.
Yeah, same
Even though it was
process,
made like 300 or even older than that years ago.
It's so expensive now, isn't it? To make.
There's a little hole there, and they were able to put thread in there. And you think, my God, how thin was the yarn? And they weaved it that thin.
Yeah.
It's not yarn, sorry, it's metal, isn't it? It's the metal.
Yeah.
But it's that small. I just...
You know, just thicker
It
than
starts
hair,
boggling you, because you can't explain it back to people.
Like Swiss watchmakers, you know, they have to make the tool to make...
I mean, you know, back to the canal. If they were making that today, how long would it take with these cranes and... cranes. Yeah, they carry the stuff. Cranes and lorries and mud. And how long it would take them to go up, making this canal going up. Obviously, I suppose we're looking at the water being there. The water couldn't have been in there until they... And this is also, which is important, about when you see houses that are on a canal. The houses and the canal could be there, but the water came afterwards. They built all that first, and the water came afterwards. Yes, it did. Anyway, little tiny weeny, so small that if you were looking at that normally, you wouldn't see that hole. It's that small.
No, exactly. If you drop the screw at work, like I say, you'd be...
Yeah, and they could thread it.
yeah, just
That.
turn it, yeah. Even like, you know, the 1800s one, you just screwed it, you know, into the little hole. Make a cut screw. You know.
Yeah, it made the, what do you call it? The thread, yeah.
The thread.
We've got one more. We'll probably...
Amazing.
I think we'll go and look him up, but we'll look at it on... Well, let's get to... We've got one more, the piece de
Oh, gosh,
resistance.
there's a few, yes. Oh, God, yes.
Here he is. He's old, mechanical, and this thing works on its own. Well, I suppose you have to turn it on, and then when you turn it on, it's got these little discs. We'll show you the back of him in a minute, but he's got these little discs, and he writes. So what it is this guy looks at quite a few different, what is it called again?
Autonomy. Isn't it?
No,
Oh, no.
whatever it is, that word.
The one we can't say.
But it's all about automation, really, isn't it? It's about how things have evolved on.
Moving.
And what it was is there was the Turkish man, but actually, well, we'll show you, that'll be the very last bit we do on this video. But he went back to him because he thinks that this was the one that depicted and was, it's hundreds of years old. I wish we could play it for you, but we'll just show you the back of him. So, I'd like to say thank you to my other half, Mickey, for showing us the link to the crazy video. I mean, it boggles my mind to think of how intricate this stuff is and how well it's made, that it still works 300 years afterwards. Perfect. But you buy a washing machine, it's probably broken down in a couple of years.
Yeah, and it's supposed to last 5, isn't it?
Yeah. So basically, this is the inside of the boy that's writing, and these are all the... Oh, my mouse is being a bit slow. These are all the discs that make him write. So as all the cogs go around, they've all got letters on, so you can take these out and change what he's writing. I mean, that's how intricate it is. This person was amazing who made this. It's that long ago. So this is your first robot. This one. Because he can do things. Once he's going, you must turn him off. Once he's going, he works by himself.
That's the creepy bit.
So, there's no battery in him, is it? So maybe you wind him up.
Yeah.
And then what it is these discs down here have the letters on, and then when these are the things that are used when his hand is writing to make the letters, so you can change what he's writing. And when he's on, the guy says he does it all. Well, just heard him. I taped it all by himself. So he is a robot.
Yeah. Like the intricate, like the inside of a robot, isn't it? Yeah.
But look at it. How old was this one? 1700s again?
In the 1700s, yeah.
Yeah, because this is when that word, I can't see it here. What's the word? Automata.
Yeah.
No, there, what's that? Automatic.
Glasses.
Oh, Mickey, take my glasses. That
word
there.
No, I've got double vision.
We're recording. Stand closer.
Automata,
yeah. But it's about how things became automated from standstill and whatever. But, I mean, when you think about it, I mean, that's that other robot. You know the other one I did? They said it was in the army. It'd have been like that inside. So if this was made 300 years ago, so was he. But look, it's all done in... What is that, gold or brass?
I'd say like good brass. Yeah, it's expensive, long lasting. But they might.
Floss.
I think brass might not be because brass is soft. So yeah, be metal.
That's it inside him. That is incredible. So here is the Turk, and again, what they were saying was that once you take his pipe away and the pillow away, he's working in that automata way. But what it was and he was able to basically beat you at chess. And and people, they said, flocked to see this because they were so amazed that a machine could beat you at chess.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah, but then So the secret then came out after he won chess over and over again. That what had actually happened was that he could see what was going on from up here. He also directed here the arm of the Turk. So it was actually someone sitting in there. So it wasn't quite as real as it seemed. So the little boy who could write was the one that grabbed him. But they learned something from, he reckoned, from the Turk. So, through the Turk, because of the way his arm moved, for some reason, these have arms which go back and forward, which are a bit like his. So the guy's saying it was like that helped them make.
Well, yeah.
But really, I don't know.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I'm not sure about that. But basically, through the Turk came all these.
Yeah, which took away the jobs of people.
There you go.
Looming.
And they had these arms which went back and forward. He was going a bit like the Turk's arm.
That's where they're throwing the looms back and forward, the thread.
And look at it. Look.
Hmm.
This has got to be at least a couple of 100 years old. But
Oh, easy.
look
It's,
at it.
yeah.
Who would have thought of
easy.
making all this? It's like
from the
this
same machines,
grand
yeah.
civilization was here. It looks old now, but it really wouldn't have been. And it was so grand in its day.
Yeah.
And they've tried to destroy as much of it as possible. Is there anything else you want to say, Mick? Oh, yes. So, back to the Turk, which I think there's a picture. We'll go back to that.
Okay.
But for this one, unfortunately, they reckon that someone was sitting in there doing all things. There's someone, and he said a man could sit in there quite comfortably.
Yeah.
So part of it was the mechanism of him, but a man could sit in there quite comfortably. So this one wasn't really real, but out of him they made linen machines.
Yeah.
And look how intricate they are. God, it's amazing. But
Yeah.
because of the arm.
Yeah, because it went side to side.
But this was an illusion, because people really believed that the machine was beating them, and it wasn't. So what did you say about control, Mickey?
Control? Oh, what? You mean losing the...
We are control. How they can deceive us.
In the same way?
Yes, go on.
Oh, yeah.
You were saying?
No.
Yeah, you were saying. So they can deceive. If we were being deceived for this. So see how easy it is to deceive us.
Yeah.
That's what you said.
Yeah, I agree. I would agree with that.
Mickey starts off by saying, I don't want to say anything.
I'm stoned.
So sometimes what it is that's why I talk, because he goes, I don't want to say anything, and then suddenly you realise he's talking.
Yeah, off air.
Yeah, he's a silly Billy, because people like hearing you, Mickey.
Yeah.
And they definitely like hearing you, the microphone, you know.
I know. But yeah, this is like the, since the beginning of these automata. Please, what's that though, darling? Of these animation things of where, it just leads on to the same things as today. It's like,
the same thing.
Yeah, it's like conjuring and magic and fooling the people, But I must say about this chess game, the man inside must have been a very good chess player. Or otherwise, that's another controlled narrative.
Or do you think it's because he has the
is this
upper
just
hand? He has the machine has always someone will have the upper hand, maybe.
No.
Because sometimes it
Game to
depends
game.
on who's. Well, anyway.
Game to game. And if you get famous, this man.
But there's all these things,
fooling-
like.
Yeah.
When did you ever hear about the Turkish man?
Oh, I've heard of it. Yeah, even
Have
on
you? I
Exit
haven't.
Roadshow.
Oh.
Exit Roadshow. Done it many a time. Yeah, for their history. Yeah. But it's just Tartarian age,
That's the bit. Well, that's the bit that Mickey. Well, yes, Tartaria. That was his big
Well, yeah,
thing. This all happened in Tartaria.
It's from that era, isn't it? It's the, where they had everything already sussed. Yeah.
It just seems. Anyway, hopefully, we've made you think about things. and shown you a few things that maybe you haven't seen. Thanks to the guy who made the video. Hopefully we haven't taken very much. He's had a very good viewing here. 553,000 views.
Not trying to do too bad.
Yeah, maybe we'll get 10. But anyway, thanks very much for watching.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Mickey.
Thank you, Karen.
No, thank you, Mickey.
No, thank you.
No, thank you.
It's good night from me.
And it's good night from her. Him.
Good night.
Anyway, thanks a lot, Mickey.
Okay.